Hello, welcome to the first episode of the PMG Project, brought to you by Potation Rotation. Brand new channel, PMG Project. You're here, probably here just because it was an accident. By all means, welcome. Probably here because you were told to go here by me, someplace else. By all means, welcome. What is the PMG Project? Well, it's not going to have anything really much to do with things that you've been used to the last almost 2 years that I brought to you via Potation Rotation. It's not going to have anything to do with really the other channels, the Lacerda Gaming, formerly the OG Potation Rotation, and the Fuser, formerly Potation Rotation Reviews. Might have a little bit to do with the new podcast, the Good for Nothing podcast. Might kind of meld into that. They might kind of go together every once in a while. We'll see. But really not too much video game related. Maybe sometimes, because this is about my life. This is basically a travel vlog channel that you've encountered. And more specifically, as of right now, for 2022, to start the channel, it's going to be right around where I live. Might take you on a vacation or something. We'll see about that. But it is my history. It is revisiting places of the past and how they affect me now. Seeing things now, what I do now, and how they would affect me in the future. So that is the PMG Project. Just kind of going out, visiting things, places, maybe sometimes people that mean a little something to me, help make me tick, and everything like that. So like I said, sometimes it might be video game related. I mean, why not cross that divide that I said that I am creating between the channels every once in a while. In fact, today, because of where we're going and because of some of the context of what I'm going to be showing you, we are going to be ending in an arcade. But join me today as I take you to one of my earliest memories, places in my head that are just bangs and flashes every now and then of things I can recall. Of course, the farther back I go, the least amount of actual memories and stories that I'll actually be able to tell. So why not kick this channel off right? The first PMG Project video of 2022, going to Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin. That is where I have some of my earliest memories of a child. And we will also end in Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin at the garcade, an all-you-can-play arcade. So let's do this! Alright, so I am where I lived when I was like in kindergarten in Menomonee Falls, and not at the houses behind me. I wish. But it's funny because I never realized until this very moment that there was houses across the street from where I lived. I thought it was just a field, but these houses, they've clearly been there longer than I've been alive. But what we're looking at here is actually some apartment buildings that I'm going to show you. Yes, I lived in these type of buildings, stretched down the block, but I lived in this building right here, right in that apartment right there. That is where I lived when I was in kindergarten. That fence wasn't back there, those trees were, but that fence wasn't. One of my very first best friends lived in that apartment. His name was Sean, and that's a different story for another day. But I spent many of days playing in this courtyard And I had no recollection of there being houses across the street. But I don't know how. Let's go investigate the back, because it's been a while. That fence wasn't back there. I've already drawn some attention to myself, which is why this is making me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, I remember the parking back here. But here's the thing. So back here, see these buildings? They didn't exist. This was a field with some cottontails in it and stuff. There's a shopping center across over there. Used to be a movie theater. We're gonna go over there in a second, but yeah, that was Sean's. And there must have been some changes made, because there actually used to be, probably where this sticks out here, this yellow part, there used to be access to a basement. There used to be stairs right down there. I don't know, they must have expanded the outside or something. I mean, we are going back, we're talking like almost 40 years. So it's quite possible that this is a new addition. But there used to be stairs there, and the story goes, Sean and I took a dump on those stairs. So I just came out of the fence area, but yeah, we took a dump on the stairs going downstairs. There's no stairs going downstairs anymore. But yeah, they were in that corner back there. So that was my earliest memory. Right there in that apartment. 5 years old, kindergarten. Meeting my first best friend ever, and taking a dump on some stairs. And I remember it was the dead of winter, and right about this time of year, dead of winter, and my dad was asleep, my mom was working second shift, and I came outside in almost nothing and played in the snow. I think I was just wearing like footy pajamas. Just played in the snow right there. My mom wasn't happy about that. But what are you going to do? Dad was sleeping. So let's move along. I'll show you where I went to kindergarten next. And here we are at Benjamin Franklin Elementary School. This is where I went to school. There's some people here, so I don't want to be too much of a freak filming this school. Yes, it's nice and warm and comfortable in my car. There's no real reason to get out. This is the side of the school. Oh, see, there's some kids. So, don't want to get them on the film here, but this is the front of the school, which I can't get to, I guess, because there's cones here. Maybe I can squeeze through here without knocking them over. I did. Okay, so, front of the school. Yeah, there's some activity. I'm not going to spend too much time here. I'm going to just show you all that. So now they got 4K and 5K, and here's the thing. Back in my day, there was no 4K. It was just preschool, then kindergarten, then you started first grade. So my kindergarten was the equivalent of what is now known as 5K, and I don't remember much about going here except for one incident that is burned into the back of my brain that comes up every now and then. And that is the I wet my pants incident. Yes, your boy Paul wet his trousers once. Well, more than once. But this is this story. So back then, you're in your classroom, you had reading time, you had nap time, you had arts and crafts, shit like that. And then you had a time when you went to the library. And you went to the library, single file. You never left a room unless you were lined up single file. So we were in the library, and we were lining up single file. Could not exit till all the children were single file to go down the hallway to go back to the classroom. I had to go to the bathroom. The teacher would not let me. In the back of my brain, it tells me that I was damn fucking serious that I had to fucking take a piss. I don't know if the teacher didn't believe me or was just being rude and did not want to let me go. Well, back then we had something called the Dewey Decimal System. A small little filing cabinet of these tiny drawers you'd pull out with cards that gave you book information and then where to go look for the book on the shelf. That was the Dewey Decimal part of it. I went and hid. I got out of line, hid behind that thing, and pissed my pants. Needless to say, school had to call my parents. Now, I don't remember what my parents' reactions were, or who, for that matter, even showed up that day. But I would imagine that my parents probably weren't very pleased at the fact that I had to go to the bathroom and I wasn't allowed to. And I had no choice but to soil myself. That is my one memory from here, Benjamin Franklin Elementary School, Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin. You know what? It's funny. As I go visit these places, perception, the apartment building, the complex, the courtyard in front of it, for example, the school building here, and I'm sure some of the other places I'm going to visit, how much smaller they are. And in the grand scheme of things, I don't know that height has anything to do with it, because it's not like a height thing. It's not like as I grew taller, these places got smaller. I think there's something going on in your brain. You think that like nowadays when you eat like something like a quarter pounder with cheese compared to when you did it when you were a child, yeah, it looks smaller because your mouth's bigger, your hands are bigger, whatever. I can understand food. And yes, I think over time food itself has also gotten smaller, but buildings don't change. Landscapes, they change as far as things go. But like that courtyard, the apartment building didn't change. It looked tiny as fuck. Those buildings look tiny as fuck. I remember them being grand, big old buildings. I don't think a person's size has anything to do with it. I think it's something up here. Something up here where as a child, things just appear to be bigger than they actually are. And when you're an adult and your brain is fully functioning, it can actually perceive things how they are. You're finally seeing them for how they are. And therefore, they don't seem as big. I don't know. But that was the school. I'm kind of hungry. I think I'm going to show you guys what was across the street through those weeds, through that fence, through those weeds, through those buildings that weren't there, that are there now. What was across the street? There used to be a little shopping center and a movie theater. There's a place there that serves food where the movie theater used to be. I'm going to take you guys there now. Let's go. It's getting a little windy, but as I circle back around, just saw the school. That's where I went to school. Now we circle back around. Right through there was where I lived. Where I showed you the apartment. I don't remember the playground for the daycare being through there. There's the car wash in that building there. We were right in there. And like I said, that was all field, weeds, and cottontail, whatever the fuck that shit's called. But there was a shopping center across the street. And it's always been there. That used to be a grocery store at the end. Maybe like a Piggly Wiggly or something, I think, if I remember correctly. A hair salon. I don't remember It didn't look as nice as it does now, but the men's hair house was not the salon. It was more where the pet supply store is, right in there. And then over here, you got an Italian restaurant. That's been there. It's still there. Been there forever, but on this spot used to be a movie theater over here. And that's where I used to see movies when I was a child. I saw a lot of movies here. It was here for a while, even long after I moved here. But now it's a Cravers. And we're gonna stop off for lunch at Cravers. All right, what are we looking at here? We're looking at 2 Chicago-style hot dogs, fully loaded here at Cravers, jumbo burgers and custard. I gotta order some cheese curds, some barbecue sauce, and some mayonnaise just for extra condiment. All right, so paid $15 for all of it, and they don't have Dr. Pepper, so I had to get a icy cold Pib Extra. That's not a bad break. A lot of people in here. Might be a little loud, but yeah, this used to be the former site of a movie theater. And as I was thinking about my time spent at the theater, I had my first date at this movie theater right here. That was in this very spot where I sit. Her name was Kirsten, and we saw Spaceballs, the movie. And that was long after I moved out here. I was like, I don't know, 5th grade maybe at that point. Also saw Back to the Future, La Bamba, Top Gun, all right here in this very spot where I sit right now. The movie theater eventually became one of those value theaters. What's this glare? Just noticed there's a glare of light here at my table, but yeah, right across the street. And it wasn't easy to cross the street at the time. You had to go all the way around the block because, like I said, there's like weeds and everything. Really didn't go through there. The fence was there, but this area has changed immensely. I'm trying to remember if the actual movie theater building became something else before they raised it and built the restaurant, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm gonna eat my lunch. I was just reminiscing about what movies I had seen. Now, those are the ones that I can remember seeing on this very spot. But I'm gonna finish my lunch and we're gonna move right along. If you ever make your way out to Menomonee Falls, you gotta come to Cravers, jumbo burgers, and custard. Those Chicago-style dogs, jumbo, were on fleek. The cheese curds were good. Just wish this was a Dr. Pepper, but it's the second time I've been here on the former site of the movie theater, Cravers. Coming out, good stuff. They got good custard too. They just didn't have a flavor that I wanted today, so I skipped on the custard. Got the Pib. Moving along. So these last couple spots, I'm filming from the inside of my comfortable heated vehicle because it's brisk outside. I actually don't know how many of these I can really do outside in Wisconsin in the middle of winter. I don't like the cold. But still, of course, here in Menomonee Falls, we're not leaving the falls today, but we are getting close to our destination, the garcade. Arcade. But as of right now, this is where we're at. So right where you see this Pop's Custard at this little strip mall type place here, at the end we got Kruger's or Kriegers, not exactly sure how it's pronounced. It's been there forever. It didn't look like that when I was a kid. It's either Kruger's or Kriegers, not sure. That's bowling. They got a pub, pizza type place, but what we're focused on here is Pop's Custard. Yeah, another custard, burgers, fries, sodas. Their flavor of the day today, by the way, is caramel cashew as of this filming. But Pop's Custard used to be an arcade. Yep, right at the end of this strip mall. This building here, this part of it, used to be an arcade. It was one of the first and only, aside from some other one like southwest side of Milwaukee, kind of a standalone that was not in a mall. Wasn't one of those Aladdin's palaces. Aladdin, I don't remember the names of those motherfuckers. But yes, this is one of the first and only arcades I ever went to, really, that wasn't in a mall. No idea when it closed. No idea what the name of it was. Maybe Falls Arcade, who knows? Have no idea. But again, just another one of my earliest memories here in the fall. And we got the 1-2 punch here as well, because of course the bowling alley had arcade machines too. But I remember probably my dad, most likely my dad, because my mom works second shift. We came out here one time for the arcade. It was gone. The only other option was to go right over to the bowling alley, play their machines. But yes, Pop's Custard. Maybe it was called Pop's Arcade. I don't know. But the arcade where we're going to next is actually right up the road. So pretty close. Pretty close. Let's go there now. Now as I crisscross, I'm kind of like doing a triangle here between places that I'm going to. Came across this place, unplanned, but it's still sitting here. It still exists. This Pizza Hut. This has been here probably since I was in diapers, but I obviously remember it being here when I lived out here. You don't see a lot of these anymore. A good old motherfucking Pizza Hut restaurant back in the day when you wanted Pizza Hut. You wanted quick pizza? A pizza chain? This is what you came to. A Pizza Hut restaurant. None of those strip mall carry-out delivery Pizza Huts. No, sir, they did not exist. This was it. This is what you came to. I think there's only like 2 in my area that I'm aware of. But yes, I used to eat at this Pizza Hut all the time. They had a buffet, and of course, sat down and played on the Pac-Man cocktail cabinet. Ah yes, good times, good memories. And at the time it was good pizza. Not much of a Pizza Hut fan anymore. It's okay. Wing Street, it's okay. What do you have to say for yourself, Sensi? Authentic Sensi stroopwafel delight. Alright, we're at the parking lot that's got the garcade. This is where this video culminates. That behind me, that used to be a classic IHOP pancake house back in the day. It's now some kind of generic cafe, but it's busy. All these cars behind me are for that cafe. What sits in front of me, it's like another strip mall. Classic Lanes, yet another bowling alley. That has been here. That has been here since I lived here. I don't know about anything else. The buffet, maybe. I don't know. There's a Domino's down there. Probably not. Who knows? That's it. The garcade. The only unlimited play arcade of its kind in this region. Well, immediate region. Not counting Galloping Ghost in Chicago. That's about an hour and 45 minutes south of here. Well, we're going to go inside the garcade. The culmination of this video of my, really, kindergarten year, or maybe 2 that I spent out here in Menomonee Falls for the first video of the PMG project. My earliest memories. But we're gonna go inside. We're gonna play some arcades, some video games, some pinball. So it's been a while since I've been in here. I think the last time I was in here was before the world changed with COVID. It's like a lot of kids in here today. It's not the largest. It's probably about the size of, probably about half the size of what a classic arcade used to be back in my day. But I'm good for the next 10 hours of unlimited gameplay. Pretty much to get your money's worth, the best thing to do is start with the pinball, work your way down the pinball. That kid's got it right, he's playing Tron. Not the largest pinball selection, but it'll do, pig, it'll do. But it's kind of loud for filming and for talking in here. So that's gonna do it for the first episode of the PMG project. Starting off with my earliest memories, even my earliest arcade gaming memories, leading up to the memories I'm currently making right here at the garcade in Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining. If you're new here, please subscribe. Hit that like button down below, I'd appreciate it. Share with friends, leave a comment down below. And I'm going to see you guys on the next episode of the PMG project. Later.
Is that another try? Play better. There are more missions to complete. Get back in there.